So the homie Diddy put Usher in the hospital. Crazy, bro. Crazy. What's happening, people? It's the homie Smitster 400 coming at you straight off the Ave, and this is Smitster Reacts. One time to all the subscribers out there all around the world, wherever you at, salute to y'all. And if you made it to this video, go ahead, give us a like and subscribe, man. New content daily. So check it out, man. Look, like I said, the homie Diddy allegedly put Usher in the hospital. This is something that I heard about a long time ago, bro. It was a situation where I believe it was Gene Deal was speaking on this a little bit ago, and he was saying how like Usher's mom was his had sent him to Diddy camp, and then allegedly some ish happened, and then Usher's mom took over after that. So look, without further ado, bro, shout out Culture Spill. Go check their channel out. That's where this content is coming from. If you like to see this content or any content I post without me stopping and talking and all that ish, you feel what I'm saying? The people who don't understand what a reaction video is, you feel me? Go ahead and go to the description and hit the link in the description. But for those that really want to rock with your boy, we finna rock out how we always rock out. You know what it is. Let's get it popping.
Do you guys remember when there were allegations going around that Kim Porter had video footage of Diddy and Usher? Then there were reports that Usher was in the hospital courtesy of Diddy. Well, as it turns out, the feds may have found something with regards to this. And this might be one of the things they have on Diddy with receipts.
Stevie J, the Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling.
And there it is. Like I said, the homie Gene Deal spoke on this. Let's get to it.
And I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business. I know, and people know, that was around there in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital.
Well, I'm sure you guys know that there are allegations that have been around for a while saying that Diddy gave Usher an STD. In fact, that is allegedly one of the things that was supposed to come up in the book that Kim Porter was writing, which disappeared just before she died. Allegedly, the book covered in detail how Diddy was into BBCs and slept with different men on multiple occasions, and how Usher's mom confronted Diddy about allegedly being intimate with Usher and giving him an STD after she found out what was going on. Allegedly, while Kim was going through security footage from Uptown Records because she had a feeling Diddy was playing her, she allegedly came across footage of Diddy and Andre Harrell doing you know what. Obviously, Kim did not expect to find footage of Diddy and Andre when she was going through the recordings, but she did, and she kept the footage. Allegedly, based on reports, Kim didn't just get her hands on footage of Diddy and Andre, she also had video footage of Diddy allegedly taking advantage of Usher. But that also disappeared because just before she died, someone broke into her house and only her laptops were stolen. Interesting, right? Still on this STD, there's a time a woman named Quantasia Sharpton, along with a Jane Doe and John Doe, sued Usher, claiming they all had relations with Usher. And they all said he risked their health by not telling them about his alleged herpes diagnosis and were seeking unspecified damages. The woman, who did not identify herself, said that she slept with Usher at least twice. And after contracting herpes from him, her twins were stillborn. Now, allegedly, this is the same STD that Usher had gotten from Diddy. You know, we have been speaking on this Usher and Diddy situation for years now, but maybe this time somebody will actually listen. So how about we start from the beginning? Okay, when Usher was first signed to LaFace Records as a young teen, he was sent to Diddy to be mentored. And at 14 years old, Usher moved to New York to stay with Diddy. And Usher himself said that the things he witnessed when he was staying with Diddy at what Diddy called the flavor camp, a boy his age should never have experienced.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn some...
Flavor Camp!
Yeah, that's what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks, and like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand.
Yo, you see how he said not really, like it really wasn't no females in the house. So like maybe okay, look, I know in this particular clip, Usher does say that he saw some curious things. He saw some things that, you know what I'm saying, he didn't really quite understand. And look, I know me at that age, I understood that a man and a woman elope, but I didn't really understand probably the same ish that he didn't really understand. You know what I'm saying? So look, bruh. And he himself said he would never take his kids to that type of camp. So take that with a grain of salt. Let's get to it.
And what I was even looking at, it was pretty wild.
At the time when he was moving in, Usher's mom admitted that she didn't know much about Diddy when Usher was first signed to LaFace Records, but she sent him to Diddy as a mentor, and Usher moved to New York to stay with him. What Usher's mom said was that when Usher hit puberty, he basically lost his voice, and record labels no longer wanted anything to do with him. And Diddy, who was with them when the record label wanted to drop him, said he would take him, and that Usher's mom just had to trust him. She thought that she was handing Usher to someone responsible, but according to Usher, the things he witnessed were so wild that as a dad, he would never let his son attend Diddy's flavor camp, ever.
Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, they didn't know nothing about this.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. I had like, you know,
what
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
See?
Usher was also asked about his experience at Puffy's Flavor Camp during an interview with Essence magazine, and he suggested once again that something did happen to him. First of all, he was very cool when asked about other things like how he would continue to pursue movie projects and, somewhere down the road, a new album and several business ventures. But according to the publication, when the talk turned to his time living with Diddy, Usher became surprisingly restrained, and he said, "I want to save some ish for my book one day. I'll put it this way, there was a lot of sex." I mean, we are still waiting on this book, and since it's taken this long, whatever is in there must be pretty juicy. Regardless, based on the interactions we've seen online of Diddy and Usher, we know exactly what Usher was talking about. Like that one time he was telling Kevin Hart about waking up next to Usher.
Look, can you imagine if Usher wrote a book and it was full of like all the secret escapades that he might have done with whomever? I mean, like really with the Diddy-ish. Like if he made a Diddy book in specific, that joint would sell out, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. That probably sell out more than any of his albums ever did. Like that joint would be, look, man, I'd buy a copy. Straight up, I'd buy a copy. Cause I want to know. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to know, but I want to know for media purposes. Let's get to it.
Honey, that was wild. And just watch Usher's face when Diddy is talking.
Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Usher fresh off the guard stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, I mean, damn, pause, but like that's how. I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes.
Now, what is the reasoning for saying pause? Like, what type of ish was you doing that was paused about wrestling for Frosted Flakes? And why was a grown man doing any type of grappling or wrestling with a child? Like, that's weird, my G. Like, look, man. Kevin knew that ish was weird. Kevin's whole energy was like, look, man, we gotta wrap this ish up. You telling on yourself, Nick.
Because he used to always get up early. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And what the
There was also this other time when Diddy was complimenting Usher, and it really looked like he was checking him out and talking about Usher eating his cereal in his kitchen.
I was so mesmerized, I don't even know what you're talking about. I was just so blown away by the stamina, the connection, being able to be connected, on so much. You have like so much, mother ain't doing all this shit, all those dance numbers and all that. Take the time with it, breathe it in. Yeah, they yours when you go see this. This ain't for nobody else but you. You take that time, boy. I see you. Fly out going Vegas. You in the kitchen eating all my cereal. Man, you doing Vegas in a pink suit. God the greatest. Won't he do it more?
In addition, Usher is also one of the people who was mentioned in the lawsuit that Lil Rod filed against Diddy. Well, he wasn't actually mentioned by name, but the lawsuit talks about how Diddy specifically mentored Cuba Gooding Jr. and showed him his ways with the goal of passing him off to others. Lil Rod actually said that he was introduced to Cuba while on a yacht in January 2023, who proceeded to force himself on him until being forcibly pushed away. He also said that Diddy used his admiration of Stevie J to ease the fact that he's always been on the DL, and he even said that at one point, Diddy played him footage purported to show Stevie J hooking up with a white man. Lil Rod then alleged that Diddy told him he had slept with 2 other celebrities, and even though their names had been redacted, one of them was described at the footnote as a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj, while the other is said to have performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. Based on that, followers concluded that one of the artists was Usher and the other one was Meek Mill. Speaking of
Hey, yo, they threw Meek Mill under the bus, bruh. Like, who else was dating Nicki Minaj that was a Philly rapper that, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. We know who you speaking about, allegedly. And we also know that he the only one that, never mind, bro. It's just wild, bro. Like, Meek make himself look worse, like the homie X said, bro. Like, just say you ain't do it. Just say you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Just say that's not you. And just keep it pushing. Cause it's anyway, let's go.
lawsuits, Dawn Richards' bombshell lawsuit against Diddy also mentions Usher, as she claims Usher, Neo, and Jimmy Iovine witnessed him allegedly punch Cassie. In her lawsuit, it says, in the weeks and months leading up to the Bad Boy Interscope deal, Mr. Combs had frequent meetings with producer and then CEO of Interscope Records, Jimmy Iovine. On one such occasion, Combs hosted a dinner at a West Hollywood, California restaurant, which Miss Richard and Miss Harper were required to attend. Among the guests at the dinner were celebrities like Neo and Usher, as well as Mr. Iovine. At the dinner, Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura had an argument. In front of the dinner guests, Mr. Combs hissed at Miss Ventura in a screaming whisper and forcefully punched her in the stomach, causing her to double over in visible pain, crying. Miss Clark escorted Miss Ventura out of the restaurant, and Mr. Combs remained and continued socializing with the dinner guests. So Usher didn't just go through it with Diddy, he also witnessed Diddy being vile with other people. Well, now word on the street is that the feds are also looking keenly into this Usher situation. Allegedly, they even have Usher's mom involved, with sources reporting that this mom also wants to set the record straight about a few things that happened with Diddy. One of them allegedly being that Diddy is actually responsible for Usher ending up in a hospital. Well, this issue about Usher going to the hospital because of Diddy is something that Gene Deal has also been open about, because he couldn't understand why Usher was singing Diddy's praises, yet a lot of people from back in the day know exactly what happened to him.
Now, I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know.
Allegedly, because of the things Diddy had Usher doing, he turned Usher, and that's why we also hear all sorts of stories about him. For instance, there were reports some time back that claimed that Usher found the time to have a good time in a gay club after some Broadway shows. According to someone who went to the club, everyone was in Usher's dressing room drinking champagne when someone came up with the idea that they should go to a club. That's when the source claimed the group went to a popular gay nightclub, saying, "We weren't looking for a gay club, it just happened. I mean, most of us were gay, so we just went to a place we knew." Apparently, allegedly, that's when the night began to heat up. As the source said, there were half-naked men everywhere, and Usher didn't seem to mind. Then, according to the source, Usher struck up a conversation with an older gentleman, and he even explained the situation, saying, Usher was talking up all in this guy's face. I thought the two of them were going to start kissing. At first, I couldn't believe my eyes, but then I thought, this is Chelsea, so anything goes. The source also said, about 20 minutes after we got there, a crowd started to form around Usher, and we decided decided that it was time to leave. We had a lot of fun though. Then when asked if Usher had a good time too, the source said, I know he did. It has also been said that allegedly, because of the things Diddy did to Usher, he also kind of did the same things to Justin Bieber when he started mentoring him. Maybe this is why Usher is not saying much, because he knows that if things come out about him and Diddy, they may also implicate him as well. I mean, when he was being sued for giving people an STD, these lawsuits were swept under the rug, and there were even reports that Usher paid $1 million for them to go away. So if things start coming up about him and Diddy, it might unearth some of his own skeletons, and maybe that is something Usher doesn't want. Well, it may be too late to play nice now, because the feds allegedly have all the receipts, including receipts of how Usher had to go to the hospital because of what Diddy did to him. Maybe Usher will finally reveal exactly what happened to him after this. But as we wait, let me know your thoughts on this Usher Diddy situation in the comments section below.
My thoughts are simply this. I find it pretty ironic that all of a sudden Usher's Twitter gets wiped. They said Megan Fox and Pink also had their Twitters wiped. I feel like a lot is about to go down, bro, because, you know, certain individuals were always seen with Diddy. They were always at the parties. They got a lot of history with him. And it's just like, you know, it's only a matter of time before, you know, what was done in the dark comes to light. Like, we see it now, bro. We see it. We see it clear as day. I think it's pretty unfortunate, but I do remember with this particular video, as far as Usher being put in the hospital, I do remember seeing that a while back. You know what I'm saying? And look, at the time, Diddy was still, you know, going through investigation and all that. They hadn't brung him in yet. So at the time, it was like, you know, I kind of was feeling like a lot of other people, like, okay, Gene, I'm going to listen to you. I'm rocking with you. You feel what I'm saying? Anything could be made up, but at the same time, things line up. And I think with this particular situation, there was actually hospital you know, records that showed that it was real. Like the time when Gene said that Diddy went and visited a alleged victim that he SA'd that was a man in a prison. That popped back up recently. So look, bro, shout out to Gene, man. Look, he been telling us for a long time about these very things, and now all of this ish is everywhere. Like, I'm surprised he wasn't indicted. To be honest, I'm surprised he wasn't, you know, called in. Or, I mean, look, they do speak about the art of dialogue and interviews and stuff like that. So I guess they have been watching. Like, Gene was on the, what was it? Did he do it or something? Like, I don't know what it was. It was something on Tubi. Gene was on that joint. You feel me? Art of Dialogue was on that joint. I'm pretty sure he's everywhere else in these other documentaries. So shout out to Art. You doing your thing. You feel me? But you see in this video, he's in this video. Everybody using the content because he really documenting some ish right now. He really documenting some ish. And he's been the one interviewing these folks, and him and shout out Real Life Street Stars been the ones interviewing these folks, and everybody called it cat. And look where we at now. Look where we are now. But yeah, man, if you made it to this point in the video, go ahead, give us a like and subscribe. Salute to all the subscribers. Road to 10K continues. You know what I'm saying? We creeping on 5. 5 is already done in my mind. You feel me? Like, that's just how I operate. It's already done in my mind. So we gonna keep pushing, help us get to that 10K. You feel me? Yeah, man, it's homie Smitster 400. This has been Smitster Reacts. Signing off. Y'all have a good one wherever you at, all around the world. And don't forget, tap in for the live streams, because we out here. Owie.